Welcome to another Indie Dev Showcase, highlighting the many indie games we play here on the channel. If you'd like to submit a game for a future video, please reach out. But otherwise, let's begin. We are starting things off this week with Solar Raiders. This is a kind of third-person roguelite. This is the demo that we checked out in 2024 and may not represent the current version of it. So what we have here is similar to that of Risk of Rain 2, as you'll run through environments trying to collect power-ups and weapons, and trying to get around a myriad of enemies and obstacles. Now this one is a bit more focused, as each floor will have you looking for different treasure chests which can give you weapons or passives, and you'll need to also use different kind of tools in order to get around. From what I played of this one, as a one player or just playing the single player, it did feel a little bit repetitive. I didn't get a chance to see too much of the roguelite elements in the demo that I think unlocked additional perks, different passives, more weapons that can show up, etc, etc. Now, for going to up to 4-player co-op, this could be a really fun run and gun for fans of Risk of Rain 2, or if you're just looking for another third-person shooter to enjoy. I'm going to be keeping my eye out for when this game comes out to see how things go with the finished title. We now go to, this is either Soul Cesto or Soul Cesto. I'm sure someone will correct me down in the comments. This is a roguelite. Now, the footage you're seeing is taken from the demo release in early 2024. However, an update demo was released at the end of the year that we did not get a chance to play. Your job is to get down to the depths of a mysterious dungeon using whatever upgrades, strawberries, and teeth to aid you. The twist is that you'll choose your kind of command, which room you'll go into, by each row. However, you won't decide what actual room in that row you'll go to. Different abilities will also grant you different probabilities to either increase the chance of going to a specific room or decrease it for the other ones. And you'll need to decide how far you're willing to go in each floor. More resources you get, it lets you buy more goodies. And I really love the unique aesthetic and art style of this one. From the demo, we didn't get a chance to see too far into the design or advanced enemies, but there is definitely a lot of potential for those of you looking for another very original take on the roguelike formula. And now we go to Spider Fox. This is a 3D platformer where, as the title kind of shows, you play a spider fox. When an evil mad scientist is combining animals to make pinos, rares, and other unusual combinations, it is up to Spider Fox to save the day. Your mission is to explore each area, trying to cure the various animals, collect resources that you need in order to unlock additional features, improve your jump, etc, etc. And it, in a weird way, reminds me of kind of the joy of playing something like Crackdown, in that you're getting upgrades to make the platforming bigger, jumpier, faster, and so on, as you move around in a very huge 3D area, trying to find all the secrets, bonuses, and so on. Now, the physics here can be a little bit on the funky side, as with a lot of 3D platformers, especially when it comes to grapple physics. But there is certainly some fun to be had, and I would recommend this one if you're a fan of 3D platforming and looking for a game to wall, trot, climb, web to, and other weird combinations. We now switch to a little bit different take on nature and wildlife with Preserve. So this was played as another demo before the game was released into early access in late 2024, and what you see may not represent the current version of it. So this is another example of the kind of casual, cozy, almost like score chasing style of game, where your mission is to, build habitats. As you place various fauna and flora down, you can also get access to new cards. Different cards will synergize or change their kind of point value based on what you place next to them. As you go up and meet enough points, you'll unlock additional cards, which will add more challenges, and your kind of basic goal is to survive and grow for as long as possible without running out of cards and meeting the point demands. There are additional things that are added to the game that we did not get a chance to play from the demo, but I did enjoy this one. It's a very charming game to play. And as I said a few minutes ago, this is not going to be for like the super min-maxy deck building roguelike audience. So if you do like your deck building, but you also want some nice peaceful zen gardening to go with it, I would at least check out the demo for it, and also keep an eye on the early access of it. We go to a different kind of cultivating and preserving the land with Lightyear Frontier. This was played during its early access, and what you see may not represent the current version of it. This is another in the kind of survival crafting farming sim style, but with the main difference is that you get a giant mech. You've been sent to a far distant planet in order to cultivate it, grow food, vegetables, and more, and maybe solve a mystery here and there. Our progression here is going to be built on you going throughout each area, trying to kind of clean it up from this kind of mysterious gunk that's everywhere, all the while growing your farm, producing more goods, upgrading your mech, etc, etc. There's also multiplayer. You like to play this with friends. I found this one to be on the charming side. Again, I'm not a huge kind of like survival crafter style fan. This one is definitely more on the crafting side and less on the survival. There are no giant mech battles in this game for anyone who's wondering. But the game is certainly charming and low stakes enough. And I'm curious to see where it will go in its early access in terms of more content, if there will be any more challenges, things like that. So if you're not tired of growing your crops, building a house one wooden panel at a time, and of course chopping down lots and lots of trees, then definitely give this one a play. For the last game of this week's showcase, we're out of the cozy and the casual for some good old-fashioned run and gun action rogueliking and rogueliting with Metal Mind. You are a robot in the future trying to stop an evil being who has taken over, and you must pew pew and dodge your way to success. The unique element behind Metal Mind is that your bot here is completely customizable. You'll acquire different body parts and weapons over the course of the run, and you're free to mix and match them as you see fit, but with considerations for weight, how much fuel or power is going to be used by different weapons, etc, etc. And your job is again, get through each area, beat the boss of the floor, move on to the next. You can also spend upgrade material to give yourself passive benefits during the run, and there's of course more things to unlock, and so on and so forth. If you're hoping for an evolution on this formula from the likes of Gungeon, Isaac, and all those others, Metal Mind I don't think goes quite that far. It's one of those games like a lobby kind of shooter or like twin stick shooter roguelikes that we've played where it's easy until it's not. Get a good starting build, really good early weapons, and you'll be able to steamroll through quite a lot. Until of course you run into that one fight that is just a little too much and it stomps you. All in all, I enjoyed this one. It is completely out now, so this was not an early access build or anything like that. And if you are someone who is in the mood for a little action twin stick shooting roguelike, I would definitely give this one a try. And before we move on from it, as a final point, the store page listing for it on Steam is not listed by the correct name. If you want to search for it on the platform, you have to search for Mind, not Metal Mind. And with that, another showcase wraps up. Let me know what you think about these games down below, and you'd like to submit a game for a future stream and showcase, please reach out. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back next week for more indie game showcasing here. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff, be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and if you're interested in more of my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.